Rivet, 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 rivet. What do you think, D? Think about these frogs, D. What you think about these frogs, D? Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. What do you know? Oh, shit. Oh, I got half the things I meant to get. You waiting by the door? What a good boy. What a good boy. Ooh, hello. Good evening. The true American God. That's true. That's true. Prepostosaurus. Frogdeology. Yup. What's up? I mean, just, you know, the usual. Les usual. Another day, another dollar, another war, another tower goes up where the homeless made their homes. The world's most tolerable male, Paul's ego. You have to fight Mike Tyson. However, you get to choose what age he'd be. Plus, if you win, you get that age times $1 million. He's 54, became champion at 20, and started training when he's 11. Well, I mean, you got to fight old ass fucking Mike Tyson. You got to go for the big win. You know what I mean? The 11. I mean, like, you take that one and then he beats your ass. You know, you're fucked. If grown ass Mike Tyson beats your ass, then you know you've got an excuse at the very least. It was Mike Tyson. It's grown ass man Mike Tyson. Does it have to be a boxing match? I mean, it sounds like it. Sounds like that was the point of the question to me. Am I correct in hearing a fire in the background? Snap, crackle, pop. Yes, you are. Got a fire going. I'll show you guys a little picture of it. It's not super raging right now, but it's doing its thing. It's chucking off some good heat, some good ambiance. I think I might need to stack another couple logs in there, though, now that I look at it. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to let these logs get crazy. And pop. What do you think? Snappy, snap, crackly, cracky, poppy, poppy. There we go. Once that gets going, we'll have a roaring fire yet again. We will have a roaring fire yet again. How do you prevent workplace drama from afflicting the union? So unions have a grievance system built in because that type of shit happens no matter what. So if you feel that you have been aggrieved by a member of the union or by the company, you file a grievance with the union. And the conflict is mediated at the local level, if it can be, which, you know, you imagine for most conflicts, just getting two people in the room and diffusing it is really all it takes. So union leadership is heavily leaned upon when it comes to stuff like this. It takes a strong leader to convince people to set aside their pettiness and work for the common good. So that's the answer. The answer is proper, strong, immediate leadership that takes both sides seriously and does their very best to mitigate conflict at the local level. If something has to be pushed up higher than the local level, then that's what the nationals are for. There's a whole arbitration system within a union structure that seems to work. Good luck with that. Oh. You have a little faith, huh? It looks dark. I guess it is. I'm backlit today, so that contributes to the dark, but that's okay. You guys can see me as a shadowy figure tonight. You can deal with that. Maybe when this fire gets going, I'll turn off that light and let that light hit me. Then I'll look even more sinister. Mob witness Paul, dude. Money flowed in and out of the organization in a normal number of ways, also a number of abnormal ways. There were flows of income that were so arcane that even I, the bookkeeper, didn't fully understand. Are Dems actually going to push for a $15 an hour minimum wage? No, they're not. What about the founding days before we have mediators and a national? In other words, during the formative years of labor movement at a particular shop, what are some ways that we can limit tension? I don't necessarily know that you want to quote unquote limit tension during the formative days of a union. That's an experience where you need a little fucking fire. You need the hammer to hit the iron a little bit. People got to argue it out. Now, you know, sometimes that means that people are pushed away or pushed out of the process. But, you know, there's going to be a period of argument and a period of establishment before leaders are chosen. Typically, I find that the national union training these infiltrators to be, you know, not only agitators for the union, but to either become the leadership in that union if need be within that local shop, or to find and begin training the person who will become. The quicker that there's a head on the chicken, the quicker it'll stop running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So you really have to identify who the people in the shop look up to and empower that person. That has to be an early and primary action. It's annoying that people think that unions will automatically prioritize white workers in part of the country. I mean, that's all part of the very, very well-planned tactic to undermine union solidarity. Racism was injected into the union movement. And, you know, just another one of the ways that solidarity was eroded. Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a working man or a thug for J.H. Blair. Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? I love the ducks in Sopranos. Reminds me of Lord of Ducks. Beautiful moment to get in Tony's head, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, my friend. I hope you continue to enjoy it. I watched an episode of Sopranos right before starting this. I'm running out, though. Getting towards the end of season 5. Going into the final season. My second watch of The Sopranos. I think after this, I'm going to see if Amelia wants to watch Deadwood with me. It has been a while since I've seen Deadwood. You see Tony as a protagonist or an antagonist. He's an antagonist, but a reluctant antagonist. It's like there's something in Tony that wants to be a better person, but it's drowned by the rest of him. And James Gandolfini is wonderful at giving us little glimpses of that in Tony. And I think it's that in Tony that makes people root for him. We want to see him make good, even if we know that it's impossible. Al Swearingen was the best part of Deadwood. I agree. Definitely agree. I did also like the guy Cy Taylor or Cy Tolliver, the competing saloon guy that comes and moves into town. I thought he was played very well. I liked the girl that comes with him, like the head mistress of the hookers that comes with him. I thought she was really good, and I thought the character of I'll be fucking honest with you guys, dude. Deadwood is fucking beautifully cast. Beautifully cast all the way down the fucking line. You know, I can't believe I'm brain farting his name. Oh, fuck. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. Dude does the voice of Chucky too. Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif is amazing as Doc. I don't know the actress's name, but the lady that plays Calamity Jane is fucking amazing. It's just filled to the brim with great, colorful character actors. Brad Dourif is best as Grima Wormtongue, but I'm biased as a super fan of the Lauder series. He was amazing as Grima Wormtongue, for sure. He's the voice of Chucky. Of course, the amazing turn is Doc, what's his name, and fucking Deadwood. I can't remember what his last name is. Been a few years since I've seen it. He was the Mentat, Piter de Vries in David Lynch's Dune, the Harkonnen Mentat, who takes the blast of poison capsule in the face instead of the Baron. He also is really good in Graveyard Shift. In fact, he's probably the only thing good about Graveyard Shift. Doc Cochran, yeah, there you go. We'll pack a bowl. I need a bowl or 3 tonight. Steady the old nerves. Excuse me. So you're hearing more cricket than frog, huh? See, I hear more frog than cricket, but it's actually both. What you're hearing now is a blend of cricket noises and frog noises. I just hear more frog than cricket. Yup, behave in the chat. You heard the lady. What do you think people will look back at when they think of the year 2020? I mean, COVID-19 is one of those things that's going to be taught in the history books, especially here in America, unfortunately. By the time everything is said and done, I mean, I don't know if we talked about this earlier, but Texas, the governor of Texas recently decided to 100% open it and drop the mask mandate, meaning that everybody goes back to work. All the restaurants are free to reopen at 100% capacity. People can go in and sit down. Nightclubs, bars, conventions, water parks. So, well, you can say fuck Texas, but fuck all of us. Because here's the thing. Texas is a heavily traveled state. And so goes Texas, so goes every other state. It's got one of the most, Dallas-Fort Worth is one of the most traveled airports in America, second, I believe, only to the ATL airport. I think Atlanta's airport is the only one that even comes close to DFW in terms of fucking... Well, I mean, we're leaving LAX out of this. We're leaving the coastal airports out. We're talking about, like, mainland airports for internal flights. There's no fucking airport that's used more than DFW. For flying from one place in America to the next, it is one of the most popular stopover spots. And so what happens in Texas happens everywhere else. So we're just about, like, we're seeing the curve not flattening, but certainly fucking reducing after this big spike we had because of the election and the fucking holidays and shit. And now we're going into spring. Spring has sprung. We're going into summer. And everybody's going to be getting back together. And that's that. So unfortunately, when people look back at the year 2020, they're going to have to learn about how we fumbled the fucking balls so horribly in this disease. I think these first early years of this decade are going to be looked at as a very dark and miserable time in the United States. And I hope at the other end of that there's some better times for folks, at least for a little while. But, you know, the trajectory is not good for the average person. I mean, I've always been for limited states' rights. I think that people ought to be able to vote on things of non-consequence nationally, like, you know, local fucking ordinances and that type of thing. I'm all for that. But this whole idea that a state is this sovereign entity that makes up the whole body of the United States, I think that COVID-19 just underlines our need to look at things differently. Our COVID-19 underlines the need for us to have a strong central authority in times of fucking crisis that can enforce a broad and all-encompassing statewide law that, you know, could have helped us in this instance. Because the problem is that another great population center in the United States, California, the governor there, what's his fucking dorky ass name? Newsom? Gabriel Newsom? Or no, it's Gavin Newsom. That's right, it's even a dorkier name than Gabriel. Gavin Newsom, the dorky fucking California dork. He's doing the same fucking shit in California, opening up fucking restaurants again, starting to allow gatherings again, when he knows, like, people are gonna fucking die because of it. It's just ridiculous. So you got these huge population centers in the United States, some of them southern, some of them decidedly not, where, you know, the governors are basically coming up with the same idea. Let's just reopen everything, la-di fucking da, and cause another giant spike. So many people travel in and out of those two states. So many people in and out of California. So many people in and out of Texas. Stopping by, eating a meal, catching the COVID, taking it back to whatever their little hometown is on a fucking cross-country trek. It's fucking insane, truck drivers. You guys don't understand. You're right, Cactus Jack. I mean, he's going to allow the virus to go fucking completely and totally insane in Texas. And that means it's going to go insane everywhere else. Because you know as well as I do as a Texan, and I myself as a former fucking Texan, that the fucking trucks never stop. Am I right? On the main highways and byways of that giant fucking state that it takes you all day to drive from one end of to the other, the trucks never stop. The commerce never stop. The hotels never close. The Denny's are always open. You know what I'm talking about. The fucking Buc-ee's is always open. This is what I'm talking about. Texas is about to fucking explode with new COVID cases, and it's about to export a bunch of new COVID cases all over the United States and start a new outbreak. Do you think comedy is the only way to peacefully save freedom of speech? I don't even know if freedom of speech is savable at this point, peacefully or otherwise. COVID gate people are getting more numerous. I feel like vaccine would be dope at this point. Well, according to Joe Biden, by the end of March, we're going to have enough doses for every adult. Now, he said this twice. We're going to have doses for every adult in America by the end of March. May.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
that's like March.
That's the end of this month. Yeah, no. The end of May. Sorry. So that doesn't count kids. He's very specific when he says adult. And so he's basically saying that there's going to be enough for about half of the population in 2 months.
He said with that Johnson & Johnson thing.
I don't know. We'll see. But
you gotta consider all the people that ain't taking it, so.
It's a fucking nightmare. What are you going to do? What about the capybaras? What about them? I want to get to them as soon as I possibly can. I swear to you, the more I fucking live here in the States, the more desperately I want to get the fuck out of here. I don't think it's an answer to any fucking problem other than my own personal problem of living in a place that I feel is just so at odds with me. And I don't necessarily believe that there's a place that's not at odds with me, but I believe that there are places where I could be a little bit more, I don't know, comfortable with what goes on around me, not constantly and consistently disgusted and appalled by my country.
I felt so bad. I ran right into Cricket in the hallway.
He's like a little shadow.
Yeah, we just gotta get the fucking hall lights actually working.
Yeah, I think the bulb is just blown, so we'll order some light bulbs. I'll plug one in. Montevideo is supposed to be cool. Yeah. I know. I'm aware. I'm not sure I would want to live right in, like, Montevideo, but somewhere in the suburbs of Montevideo on a little piece of land that I could fence off and put some cappies on. Let Dinor's ready. He's already told me in private that he's ready. Cricket's down as well. Cricket would love to ride on a capybara. He's told me in private. Amelia's down. I'm down. I think we just need to figure out what the shortcut is, if there is one. Is there a shortcut out of this fucking place? One way or the other, we're going to have to get vaccinated first, because I guarantee you that's going to be a contingency of moving anywhere in the world. So we got to wait for that vaccine shit.
I'm sure you heard about the Texas thing, huh? Is that what started it?
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about Texas reopening 100% capacity. Movie theaters are going to reopen. Schlitterbahn's going to reopen. Fucking Six Flags over San Antonio reopen.
No masks.
Convention centers open for fucking churches to rent out and have mega church sessions and no mask mandate. So, welcome back to the fucking Stone Ages. Welcome back to the fucking 4th month of the outbreak, Texas. I can't really talk shit, though, because Louisiana did it. Louisiana dodged... Mississippi did it, too. Well, no, I'm talking about the spike shit.
Oh, yeah.
Louisiana dodged the first wave of COVID. It was one of the only states left in the United States that didn't have a single case. Then exploded with COVID because they went ahead and had Mardi Gras. Then went down again, and then exploded again with COVID because nobody was paying any fucking attention to anything. It's just ridiculous. It's never going to stop if we don't, we can't put out a million fires at once. There has to be some kind of national fucking... national mask mandate, national stay-at-home order, and a national fucking stipend until this crisis is over for every fucking household in this country.
I think the ship has sailed.
I mean, but that's the answer. Like that, and getting 70% of the fucking population inoculated, which is like, all right. Am I down with the clown? I like some of ICP's early shit, but I'm not really like a juggalo. So I hesitate to say like I'm down with the clown, whoop whoop, family and all that shit, because I'm not really that into it. But yeah, I guess I'm technically down with the clown. Am I down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. Did we ever definitively find out what OPP stands for? Because he says in the song that O is for other, P is for peoples, and then P, and then he says, let's say it stands for property. But it's clearly not other people's property. And then back in the day, the rumor was it was other people's pussy.
Dude, I looked it up, and like shit for glaucoma came up.
OPP?
The OPP, ICP
Yep.
ends up pulling up glaucoma.
No. ICP didn't sing OPP. Oh. OPP is a different song. Oh. OPP was sung by Naughty by Nature. Obese Paul Parkey. Yeah, maybe he was making fun of me and I never knew it.
Acronym referring to sexual infidelity.
So other people's pussy.
Yeah.
That's what it is. He likes hopping in the sack with married women and
yeah, the goomars.
Yeah, he likes having a lot of goomars.
Dude, that would be a good trivia question. How many different women did Tony fuck?
Yeah, we can't even answer it yet, too. But dude, I'd have trouble even answering at this point. Up till this point, how many women has Tony fucked? Carmela, the Russian's cousin, the crazy Benz dealer. That's 4 so far. The art dealer that was Ralphie's Gumar. He's had that blonde chick that I've seen him with at the casino a couple of times, yeah. But hasn't really had a whole lot of lines.
Yeah, that blowjob he got, that's probably 7.
7, yeah.
The dermatologist nurse is new, so it's 8.
Yeah, that's true. 8 so far, maybe. I think we're missing a couple. I think we're missing at least a couple. Tony gets around like a record. Crazy to think 500,000 Americans have died, dude. It's one of the biggest fucking tragedies in modern history. When it comes to just, if you take it down to simply America, it's literally one of the most deadly and insane tragedies in modern history. 1 in 6 people that were alive on January 1st, 2020 are now dead of COVID in this country. 1 in 6. 1 in 600. Not 1 in 6. That would be fucking, we'd all be dead. It'd be Mad Max. 1 in 600. Sorry. I'm a little stoned. Well, think about it. Like, how many people died on 9/11? It was just under 2,000 people, right? If you include the hijackers, the people on the planes, the people in the buildings, and the first responders. I think it's just under 2,000 people. How many times does 2 go? It's 250,000 times 9/11, right?
250.
200, what is it? Like,
Well, let's see. Let me just
just,
do it
yeah, just do it,
backwards,
because I can't do the fucking division.
500,000
Divided by 2,000.
It's 250.
So it's 250 9/11s in 1 year. Stalin put it best: the death of one is a tragedy, the death of millions is just a statistic. Dude, Stalin didn't say that, dude. Marilyn Manson said that. Duh. The death of one is a tragedy. Yeah, it really is fucking insane. So once again, this is what people will remember most about this time in American history. COVID-19 will be learned about in every classroom in America and probably in most classrooms worldwide for decades and decades and decades to come. Every time I bring this up with right-wing people, I know they blow it off by saying it's mostly old people and people with health conditions, like it matters. I mean, it's just fucked up that people have been reduced to not caring about their fellow man, to say that it doesn't matter that a kid doesn't get 10 more years with his grandmother or grandfather, that it doesn't matter. Like, isn't this what they sing about? I love sitting on my farm, my granddaddy by my arm. It doesn't matter that people's grandparents got taken away 10 years before they would have been. It doesn't matter that somebody like Amelia's stepdad, who has a pre-existing fucking condition, he didn't pass away, thank goodness, and he's got his fucking shit now. He never caught the disease. But I mean, people like him died all over this country. It doesn't matter that people that would be alive are now dead.
Well, like my fucking grandparents are in their 80s. Too.
Right. It's just like, what do you mean it doesn't fucking matter? Do you know how much I wish sometimes that I have my grandmother still to talk to? There are people my age that still have their grandparents. My grandmother got taken away from me in her 60s, her late 60s, to brain cancer and breast cancer. It doesn't matter because she was old. Do you know how many years with my grandmother I was denied? My grandmother died when I was Amelia's age. I was 23 years old when my grandmother died. It's fucking ridiculous to reduce it's just old people who are gonna die anyway, people that was already sick.
I mean, there's plenty of people that were like in their 40s. Fucking.
Dude, there were tons of people that have died from this that had neither age nor pre-existing condition. Young, normally fucking healthy people just get it, croak.
I think it was like there was this Broadway or dancer.
Tons of people.
That was like in his 20s or something.
Tons and tons of people, otherwise healthy, have gotten this. So it's just fucking so callous. It's just a way of going, nuh-uh. It really, that's what it comes from. It doesn't come from callousness. It comes from fear. They're afraid of the implication of it. And so it just, no, doesn't matter, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Let's just go on back to doing things the way we're doing, blah, 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 blah. And they won't care until it's their grandma that croaks. It just sucks. A whole generation of people that don't get to know their grandparents. Think about that. Think about how many people's grandparents died before they were old enough to remember them that would have otherwise not died had it not been for COVID-19 and our response to it.
There's 5,000 people that were 30 to 39.
Right.
It's already 2 9/11s. Working class people that are probably parents.
Yep. It just, I don't know, man. When it comes down to it, we're a fearful country. And I've been saying that for a very long time. You can go back and watch my fucking American Ashamed video that's on this channel. And I talk about how America is a nation of cowards. We've gotten so scared that we're not willing to face reality. We're not willing to face the reality of a government that has all but undone our civil liberties. We're not willing to face the reality of a government that engages in slavery. We're not willing to face the reality of a government that is so utterly, completely owned by corporations that it can't take care of us during a fucking national crisis. We don't want to own up to it because it's easier for us to just keep going and maintain some level of comfort in our lives and la-di-fucking-da and stick our fingers in our ears and pretend we don't know it or pretend it doesn't matter. There are millions of people who have statistically recovered who are still dealing with heart and lung problems, people who got it back in April and May. Yep.
What does that mean, having like hundreds of thousands of people that have lungs that are fucked up?
I don't know. That means a huge burden on a healthcare system that already doesn't work. That means people dying earlier than they would normally have dying. That means people having to grieve for their loved ones earlier. That means kids missing out on their parents and grandparents. I mean, it's just fucking, it's a tragedy. I mean, I get you, Zach. I think if it hit close to home, you'd probably feel different, but I think a lot of people feel the same way. You know, it's just like human beings have had this coming, maybe. And our blithe ignorance is what led to COVID-19. We placed, as much as we want to fucking pretend we have no hand in it, it was us that placed the leadership where it was. We're responsible for every leader that is sitting up there. We are responsible for what they do, which means that the blood of all of the COVID dead of the United States and all the misery that that has produced is on all of our hands as Americans. Some of us can admit that and be disgusted by it, and some of us can't.
Someone in the chat, Princess Soar said that her friend died from COVID, and the friend has permanent lung damage that are in their 20s.
Yep. I told you guys about this a while back, but since it's up, fucking, you know, it's come up now. You guys remember my ex-girlfriend Ashley? She got COVID-19 4 or 5 months ago, has recovered for it, and is now on an inhaler. She never had any lung problems or allergies or pre-existing conditions before, and now has to use an inhaler every day because of the lung damage from COVID-19. So there's somebody that you know, that I know, who is young. She's 25 years old. She's doing better than some people are. She's still able to work, but
Did she smell again, or?
I haven't heard from her in a while, but I assume that some of that has partially come back. But last I heard from her, she was not doing well. Like lung-wise, she had gone back into the doctor a few times. Her doctor said her lungs did not sound good, put her on a medical inhaler and all kinds of shit. So, pretty fucked up. Dude, for anybody that wants to take time to be fucking mean while we're talking about COVID dead, or I'm bringing up a person that fucking had COVID and shit, get that ass banned. Speak up now so I can get your fucking dumb, shitty, worthless fucking ass out of here. Speak up now, coward. What a piece of shit. What a group of pieces of shit. I'm not going to repeat what they said. Like, if you're that type of person, please stop fucking watching me. Do me a fucking favor and tune the fuck out and go find somebody else to watch, please. Takes a bare minimum of both common sense and empathy to understand COVID is an issue. This is true. This event has split my family like crazy. Every horrible person came to the surface. I don't know if they're, like, you have to understand these people are fucking scared, like I said. The horribleness is because they're frightened of it. They can't face the reality of it being a fucking horrifying tragedy. And so they have to downplay it to make it okay. They have to go get pina coladas and pretend like it's not a problem. They have to go to brunch and pretend like it's not a problem. They celebrate when the masks come off in a state because they have to pretend that things are getting better, even when the numbers say that they're not, because they're afraid. You have to understand that we're a people that have not faced an existential crisis. I'm talking about Americans in, I mean, what, 5 generations since the 20s? The last time we had an existential crisis was the dual crises, the fucking stock market crash and Dust Bowl.
And Spanish flu.
And Spanish flu, right? So the last time America was in this position was 5 generations ago. We've had 5 generations of relative peace and prosperity. Yes, there's been world wars, but all of that's been exported. The American family unit has been able to live in relative peace and prosperity here in our homeland forever. And now 500,000 of us are dead in a year from a preventable illness. Some people can't face it. They have to downplay it. They have to joke about it. They have to make it a fucking meme. Because if they actually faced the truth of it, they'd be afraid. They admit they were afraid, and they'd admit they needed to do something other than what they've been doing, which is nothing. Me and Amelia got a fucking wedding. Now she's like, no, keep in mind, I've been married before. She's a young woman who's never been married before, and this was her marriage. We went down to the fucking county courthouse. She didn't even get to wear a nice fucking wedding dress because there was no point in getting it. We wanted to get it done as soon as fucking possible because we knew it was going to be forever. So we dressed up a little bit. We went down to the fucking county courthouse and we had a solo wedding with no witnesses other than the person that said, do you, do you. And there are people throwing giant fucking weddings. We didn't throw a wedding, not because we can't afford to throw a little wedding and have our family, but because we didn't want our wedding to bring together people and kill them.
At this point, it might be like 2 years before that's
Yeah.
even remote.
It might be, we might have to wait a year. We might have to wait 2 years before we can start having like safe fucking get-togethers with family and shit. On that level of having like 30, 40, 50 people at a fucking wedding. Plus, most COVID deniers literally believe they're protected from germs by an imaginary man in the sky. Yeah. Because no Christians have died from it. The imaginary man in the sky has never failed to save a Christian. It's 500,000 atheists that died from it. Fucking joke.
You are right, Jason, that the denial is going across all stripes of people.
Of course.
This one group,
There's a huge left-wing anti-vax contingent. Like, it's not something where there's this clear dividing line where you go, like, all anti-vaxxers are also Republicans. It's like, no. No, the far left harbors tons and tons of wacky fucking spiritual medicine gurus and fucking holistic healers and shit. And there's a huge anti-vax contingent amongst those types of hippy-dippy fucking leftists. So
I got whooping cough twice in Washington because so many people weren't vaccinated that it mutated enough to where my vaccine didn't work.
Washington, one of the most liberal states in the union. You're not getting the vaccine. Thanks, Jason. Thanks. Sincerely from everybody. I hope you're forced to fucking do it for economic reasons. Like, I hope that you have a job that won't let you fucking work unless you have gotten the vaccine. Jason's too special. I mean, I'm not stopping you from arguing with Jason. He's got a wrench, yeah. Jason's a personal friend of mine.
Yeah, it was just the other day you and Jason were going at it a little.
Yeah, no, like we're talking about COVID and Jason's talking about COVID, so you can go off on Jason if you want to. You guys were just arguing about shit we weren't talking about the other day. There's honestly no fucking point to arguing Jason. He's a troll. He's a troll. Like, I love Jason. I can't help that, but you don't have to. Jason has a wrench just so somebody doesn't ban his dumb ass every fucking day. He's not even allowed to use it. I told him I'd ban him if he ever uses it without me asking him to, so. I mean, no. You can fucking argue with him Phoebe. I'm just telling you, it's like beating your face against a brick wall with Jason. See, I happen to know Jason. Isn't Jason gay? Yeah, what does that have to do with the price of rice in China?
And that already shows you it's not a genuine argument if he's arguing about infertility, so.
Yep. Why the fuck would a gay man give a damn about being fertile in the first place, Jason? Well, I think, not to speak for Jason, I think that Jason wants to have a child someday. Is Jason good looking? Yeah, I think Jason's a good looking chap. But you know the vile shit that lives inside of Jason, you know, you might look at him a little different. But on the surface, I don't rate people. I don't know how to rate people on a scale or whatever the fuck. He figured it out. You got the angle right.
I think he just has a thing with heights. I think that's why he's so, like, defensive on the bed.
Yeah, he doesn't like being pushed off of things.
Like, I guess maybe we're gonna get upstairs, but I don't think that's really the issue. I think he just is iffy with heights.
Well, I mean, it would probably help him to make it easier for him to get up because the hardwood floors make him slippy.
Well, that's what we forgot when he was on the other day. God damn it.
Yeah. I have really good genes. No allergies, no major diseases in my family, no history of disorders. Jason, do you want me to fucking, like, I know you. I know you have a history of at least 2 disorders in your family. Like, do you want to, like, don't, I mean, you can't bullshit a fucking bullshitter. 2, yes, 2, Jason, 2. Two, yes. I'm not gonna mention what they are, because it's not my fucking story to tell. But let's be fucking frank here, Jason. You ain't some fucking kind of uber mensch. Your family's got issues. Mention them. Okay. Alcoholism and depression. Those are both disorders, mental disorders, that your family has a propensity for, no? No history of depression, a few men who are alcoholics. Jason, you have a fucking history of depression. You have a history of anxiety problems. Are you not a member of your own fucking family? Have I not talked you down from fucking anxiety attacks before? Like, what are you talking about, dude? You told me to fucking mention it. I mean, fuck, bro. You haven't had bouts of fucking depression, Jason. I don't know you. We haven't been friends for as long as we've been friends. I don't know you. I haven't fucking seen you go through fucking bouts of depression and shit and nursed you through such as you've done for me. Build different, yeah. See, Jason's just a troll. This is why you don't argue with Jason. Built supreme.
I know. One of these days, I'm just gonna have to smack someone upside the head with that fluffy paw.
Yep. Have Jason over and wait till he's sitting down somewhere and just whoosh. Time it with Cricket. You guys both pimp slap him at the same time. 2 fluff paws in the face. He deserves it. You'd love to come over when? When do you want to come over, Jason? Like, I'm fine with you coming over. I mean, it might behoove us to wait. Let's just put it that way. But we'll plan something out. If you're not getting the fucking vaccine, though, you can't come over. How about that? Yeah. Get vaccinated.
Wear a mask, and you gotta stay 6 feet away.
Tie a blanket around your fucking head. And then put a mask over that, and then put a pair of panties over that. You can come over. Fucking plague rat. Can you tell if he's being honest? I could tell if Jason was actually talking to me, but over text, who the fuck knows? Yep. Soon as you give me proof that you've gotten vaccinated, I'll fucking give you my address, Jason, and I'll let you come over and stay for a couple of days. How's that?
The only true incentive.
Yep. This dude is a freaking Teflon master troll. I told you, dude. Jason, I try and warn people. His whole thing is to get people whipped up. He loves it. But Jason gets whipped up easier than... See, like, that's the thing, is like, your trolls are always a dark mirror of what they really are. So Jason, in the chat, is this super, like, cocksure, unflappable, unpiss-offable dude. But Jason, like, over a game of Dota, dude, the other day, you were freaking the fuck out. It was hilarious. But you were losing your mind over Dota. You told somebody to go kill themselves. And then you were like, and I'm totally serious, and that's not a joke. You should stop playing Dota and kill yourself. You actually said that to a human being.
You get banned?
No, because Dota, dude, in order to get banned from Dota, you literally just have to scream the N-word at the top of your lungs in like 20,000 games in a row. And literally, Jason has been banned from Dota.
Yeah.
Yep. Jason lost like hundreds of dollars in cosmetics when he lost his Dota account. Jason had some bomb fucking cosmetics. Some bomb, like literal old school, hard to get shit. Probably a couple things that are worth a couple $100. Jason had some bomb old school cosmetics. Lost every bit of it. Because he couldn't stop calling people the N-word, couldn't stop fucking threatening to kill people, telling people to kill themselves. Like Jason will do, like he seeks out whatever the hard rule is, and he has to exceed it. And it's fucking like, I'll be honest with you, listening to him go on a fucking tirade for me is actually pretty fucking hilarious, but I'm from an edgier generation. You know, it would probably be upsetting for a lot of people. My Doom set was my pride and glory. It's never going to be available again. Yeah. Well, that's what you get, Jason.
Did you tell the cockabur story to the chat?
Yeah, dude. Well, I told him this morning. I actually showed it to him. I brought it out here. Yeah, dude. I don't know. It might have blown away. Yeah, it looks like it might have blown away. Oh, no, there it is. Dude, I can't show him now. It's fucking, I look like a fucking mafia witness. Yeah, but I had to cut like, Dynor had a cockabur thing, like one of those little plant things that are meant to get in a dog's fur, and he had it right on his wiener. So I had to snip some of his pubes. Isn't that right, D? I had to snip your pubes. Yeah, it's sitting here on the table. His pube cockabur is sitting right here. Here, I'll hold it up. Here's pubabur, dude. There it is. Da, 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 da. Oh boy. All right, we're putting that in the ashtray. Did you give him a fade? Yeah. I gave him that uptown fade, cleaned him up down there, left a little triangle above the way he likes it, a little landing strip. Dude, that's dog ownership for you. Sometimes your dog gets a fucking cockabur right at the end of his dick, and you have to fucking snip his wiener hairs.
The worst thing with dogs is the stuff that gets stuck to their butt, though.
That's true.
When they get them dingleberries.
Oh my god, dingleberries are the worst.
My mom had to give our dog like a sanitary cut, like basically have a bald ass so she wouldn't get dingleberries.
Yep. Dinor gets dingleberries, but not super often. But I have dealt with a dingleberry or two on Dinor. He's looking at me like, shut up. That's something you gotta accept when you have a super hairy dog breed. Yeah, pretty much. I do not get dingleberries, no. Thank goodness I don't get dingleberries. Paul, you should train him to get himself. What?
Like lick off his own dingleberries?
Like get his own dingleberries? He can't reach.
He's not a cat.
Yeah, he can't reach all the way back to his asshole. He doesn't bend that way. He can get close, but...
A cricket.
Yeah, Cricket could lick all up in his own asshole. He would not have a dingleberry for a second.
Oh, I think he has a couple times, though. Even then.
Yeah, I don't know.
He had the squirts as a kitten. It was no bueno.
It was no bueno. No bueno. Cats can eat their own asses. They can, yes. When are you going to stop smoking? You're giving me emphysema from a different timeline, and it's starting to piss me off. Future Paul, you're just going to have to deal with it. I'll quit when I'm ready. You know this. The snozzberries taste like snozzberries. Money from the band realm. Doodaloo doodaloo doo. Thanks. My rabbit used to eat its own poop. I guess herbivores do that. That makes sense because they're just pooping out other more herbs, you know. So they could redo them. You could send them through again. I hear some coyotes yipping. Is poop vegan? Oh my god, I don't know. Your dog eats his own poop? Yeah. I had a dog one time that was like a turd burglar. Like to munch down on dog turds, and it was just like, man. Thankfully, Dinor is not a turd burglar. He will not eat a turd. What a nightmare. All right. I think I'm done for the night. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.